All right, buckle up for today's deep dive. You guys know you love a good "wait, that really happened"
All
story.
right, absolutely.
So today we're going deep into the world of weird sex accidents. Think articles, on-wide forums, the kind of stuff that usually stays buried.
Yeah, we're going way beyond WebMD today.
Oh, for sure. And trust me, some of this is unbelievable.
It really is amazing, isn't it? What people will
Oh, yeah.
get up to. And sometimes those adventures, well, let's just say those bedroom adventures.
Yeah, or the back seat.
Or the back seat, exactly. They go hilariously wrong.
Hilariously, and
And
sometimes,
sometimes unfortunately wrong. Yeah.
unfortunately wrong, right? We're not just talking scrapes and bruises here.
No, no. We're talking about the kind of stuff that'll make you cringe, laugh, and maybe even think twice.
Absolutely. So are you ready to hear about some of the weirdest sex accidents out there? I think we should start with something that's kind of a classic, but also, well, ouch.
Oh, you mean the guy who
Yeah,
broke his finger?
broke his finger trying to unhook a bra.
Trying to unhook a bra, yeah. Apparently a little too enthusiastically.
I mean, you'd think it's a simple task, right?
You would think so, wouldn't you?
But nope. Snapped his finger right there in the heat of the moment.
I guess it just goes to show even the simplest things,
Can go wrong? Yeah,
yeah, can go very wrong. And it's a good reminder that our bodies, well, they have limits.
they do. Speaking of limits, and maybe pushing them a little too far, have you ever heard of penis captivus?
Ah, penis captivus, it's incredibly rare.
But it's real.
It is real. It has been documented, though thankfully not often. Essentially, it's when the vagina clamps down on the penis, makes it difficult to separate, shall we say.
Oh, wow. So that urban legend is actually true.
There was a case years ago, an Italian couple, they got stuck while,
While having sex in the sea.
in the sea, yes. Needed a muscle relaxant injection to separate. Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh. Talk about a romantic swim's gone wrong. Okay, but that's nothing compared to some of the things I've read about ending up where they shouldn't. And I'm not talking about misplaced keys or phones.
No, we're talking about foreign objects. And then let me tell you, people get really creative. Or maybe not creative, just...
Oh, I know. I was reading about this guy who ended up in the hospital with a lizard stuck in his urethra. A lizard.
a lizard. Well, that's a new one.
Apparently it was a legless lizard, which, I don't know, maybe he thought that would make it easier.
I'm not even sure where to begin with that one. Let's just say certain orifices are not designed for reptilian exploration.
Absolutely. And on that note, this one's a little less reptilian, but still pretty cringeworthy. College freshman, a little too much fun with his girlfriend.
Oh, no.
And her braces.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think they got a little rough, and those metal wires, well, let's just say they did some damage.
I imagine so. Braces are great for straightening teeth, but not so great for, well, other activities.
Definitely not. And it's not just braces. I mean, people get piercings, rings, all sorts of things in places they probably shouldn't.
It seems the pursuit of pleasure can sometimes lead to, shall we say, unintended consequences.
You got that right. All right, are you ready for this? A vacuum cleaner.
A vacuum cleaner. Now that's a story I gotta hear.
Okay, picture this. A guy decides to use a vacuum cleaner for, well, let's just say self-gratification.
Oh dear. I think I see where this is going.
Things go wrong, very wrong, and he ends up with what's known in the medical community as morbus kobold.
Morbus kobold. That doesn't sound good.
It's not. Let's just say it involves a vacuum cleaner and, well, a very sensitive area and a lot of pain.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. This is definitely a case of don't try this at home, folks, or anywhere, really.
Absolutely. Sometimes curiosity, it really can lead to trouble.
It can, and unfortunately, sometimes that trouble can be pretty serious, like in the case of the, well, this one's tough to talk about, but the bowling pin incident.
A bowling pin. Okay, this is getting stranger by the minute.
I know, right? Apparently someone decided to use a bowling pin for, yeah, and it ended, well, tragically.
Tragically. Oh no.
Yeah, it's a really sad story, and it just highlights how important it is to, I don't know, think things through. Some objects are just not meant for that kind of use.
Absolutely. Safety should always be the top priority. Always.
Couldn't agree more.
So, have we covered the spectrum of weirdness yet?
Oh, we're just getting started. Buckle up.
Okay, so where were we?
Rings. I know, I'm not talking about the kind you exchange at a wedding.
Ah, rings. Versatile little things, aren't they?
You could say that, but sometimes, well, that versatility can backfire.
Especially when it comes to delicate matters.
Exactly. So there was this guy having some trouble in the bedroom, if you know what I mean.
Erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, and he'd heard about using a ring to, help things along, which is a real thing, by the way. Cock rings. They're designed for that.
Right, but this guy decided to go the DIY route.
You know what? He thought, hey, I've got this wedding band just sitting here.
Oh no, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. Wedding rings are great for symbolizing love and commitment, but...
Not so much for restricting blood flow.
Exactly, which is exactly what happened. The ring got stuck, things started to swell up, and well, let's just say it wasn't pretty.
It wasn't pretty at all. According to the medical report, His member was borderline necrotic.
Okay, that's just ouch. That's got to be top 10 worst case scenarios right there.
It was pretty bad. Luckily, the doctors were able to get the ring off with a diamond-tipped saw blade. Can you imagine?
I can't even. Talk about a close call. It's a good reminder to leave those delicate procedures to the professionals.
And to use the right tools for the job? Seriously, folks, if you're going to experiment, at least invest in the proper equipment.
Amen to that. Okay, ready for another one. This one involves a car, a hill, and a lot of awkward explaining to the paramedics.
Ooh, this is going to be good. Hit me.
So picture this. 3 people, a parked car, things are getting, shall we say, heated.
I'm picturing it.
In all the excitement, someone knocks the handbrake loose.
Oh.
You know what happens next? The car starts rolling down the hill, picks up speed, crashes into a tree.
Oof. Talk about a mood killer.
And an injury causer. 2 of the 3 people involved ended up with serious injuries.
Wow. So much for a romantic getaway.
It really highlights the importance of being aware of your surroundings, no matter how distracted you might be.
And maybe double-checking that handbrake. Just a thought.
Absolutely. Safety first, folks. Always.
Okay, so speaking of getting a little too heated, let's talk about a case where things got spicy. Literally.
Oh, intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, you know how some people like to spice things up in the bedroom?
Sure, a little variety is the spice of life, as they say.
Right, but sometimes that spice can backfire. This woman, she ended up with burns on her. Well, after her partner ate some spicy food before they...
Oh, no. Yeah, I can see how that would happen. Capsaicin, the stuff that makes peppers hot, it can irritate sensitive skin.
It can. And in this case, it did.
Yikes. Talk about a hot date gone wrong.
It's a reminder that what one person finds pleasurable, another might find, well, excruciating.
Communication is key. Always.
Always. Okay, this next one is a little less painful, but definitely cringeworthy. A guy goes to the doctor, complaining of discomfort. You ready for this? He's got chocolate in his groin area.
Chocolate. Okay, that's just unfortunate.
It gets better. It had melted in his pocket and kind of, migrated.
Oh my. Not exactly the kind of surprise anyone wants down there.
Yep, not at all.
I guess it's a reminder to be mindful of where you keep your sweets and maybe wear looser pants on hot days.
Good advice. Okay, ready for another one. This one involves a love bite, but not the kind you might be thinking of.
Oh, do tell.
This woman, she goes to the ER after a makeout session with her partner,
Okay, I'm listening.
and she's complaining of sudden hearing loss.
Wait, hearing loss from a kiss. How is that even possible?
Apparently, the suction from the kiss created a pressure change in her ear, damaged her eardrum.
Wow, who knew a kiss could be so dangerous?
I know, right? It's a reminder that even the most seemingly harmless things can have unexpected consequences.
Absolutely. The human body is a strange and wonderful thing.
And speaking of strange and wonderful, are you ready to hear about the reciprocating saw incident?
A reciprocating saw. Oh boy, this sounds bad.
It was. This woman, she ended up in the hospital with severe vaginal injuries after, well, let's just say a romantic encounter took a very wrong turn.
I'm not even going to ask for details. Some things are better left unsaid.
Agreed. Let's just say power tools and intimate activities don't mix.
Words to live by. Okay, I think we need a palate cleanser after that one. How about we talk about food again? But maybe something a little less, messy.
Deal. But this next story is still pretty awkward. Remember that chocolate incident?
Oh yeah, how can I forget?
Well, this one involved food, too. Guy goes to the doctor, complaining of discomfort. Turns out he's got a piece of food lodged in his taint.
A piece of food in his taint. How does that even...
That's what the doctor wanted to know. Details were a little sketchy, but it involved a romantic dinner, a bit of clumsiness, and a very unfortunate wardrobe malfunction.
Oh dear. I guess that's what you get for trying to be romantic and efficient at the same time.
Right. Sometimes it's best to just slow down and savor the moment.
Good advice. Okay, I think I'm ready for one more before we wrap things up. What have you got?
All right, so this one is a little different. It involves a woman, a 3-hour orgasm, and a trip to the ER.
A 3-hour orgasm. Okay, that sounds more like a fantasy than a medical emergency.
It might sound fun at first, but trust me, it's not. This woman, she was experiencing what's known as persistent genital arousal disorder, or PGA.
PGA, I've never heard of that.
It's a real condition. Basically, it causes ongoing, unwanted arousal.
Wow, I can only imagine how difficult that would be to deal with.
It's not fun. And unfortunately, there's not a lot known about it, so treatment options are limited.
That's really unfortunate. It just goes to show that even when it comes to sex, things aren't always what they seem.
Exactly. What might seem pleasurable on the surface can actually be a sign of a serious medical condition. It's a good reminder to pay attention to your body and seek help if something feels off.
Absolutely. And to be open and honest with your partner about what you're experiencing.
Okay, well, I think we've officially reached the end of our deep dive into the world of weird sex accidents. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have, from broken fingers to lizards, vacuum cleaners, and everything in between. It's been quite a ride.
It has. But amidst all the cringeworthy and hilarious moments, I think there's a serious message here.
Absolutely. Safety first, folks, always. And when in doubt, consult a medical professional.
Couldn't agree more. All right, that's it for today's deep dive. Join us next time for more strange, unusual, and sometimes downright bizarre stories from the world around us.